nerfed. I think he's one of the coolest characters in the game, but nobody plays him. There needs to be like a new gen of Nux enjoyers. Ion, I think, would have been the person that would have stuck him out, but then he had to play fucking the Beetle guy.
Yeah, I feel like anyone willing to play a character like that is probably also willing to just go play Rivals instead.
It's sad, but it is true. We try our best. Yeah, there's Apathy. Apathy is like killing it with Knuckles, but he's pretty secluded in Texas land. He's definitely like, if Apathy just was like a major traveler, he would be pretty good at bringing Knuckles to the spotlight, I think. He also got some crazy box tech. I know, I heard about the days. I heard there was lore that there was a PM rank event in 2019 that had Knuckles legal.
I definitely remember hearing about that. I don't remember where or like what it was.
Yeah.
But I definitely remember hearing about that.
Which is crazy.
Project Clash.
Yeah,
I don't remember that name specifically. I don't know what that refers to.
That was a tournament or something? Or was that a mod?
Sounds like an AZ event. It does.
Ba-boom. Oh, Snake. You know, I wasn't too happy with... Honestly, the opponents that I got all top-tier character opponents, but you know what? I didn't fight Snake today, so I can't complain too much. I definitely should have had a better answer to campiness. I don't really know what to do about that with Sonic. Philly series from Clash tournaments. That's cool.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Shout out to Clash tournaments.
Yeah, maybe one of these days I'll just show up with a build that has Isaac on it, and that'll be the...
Dude, I'm so down.
That'll be the build we play.
Isaac and Lynn.
Yeah.
They're crummy versions, though. It's like you made them. You belt them in Brawl Box. And you go, I just don't use down taunt. It'll crash the game.
I don't know. I mean, we're allowing FOD at this point. Like, that means basically anything's on the table, right?
Anything's been on the table forever. We made up our own stages, dude.
That's true. PMCC, I do remember that. I remember following that pretty closely. That was not very real.
We ran tournaments on a stage called Castle Courtyard.
We did do that.
Distant cousin.
Hey, at least we did something.
No, we did.
The rest of the country wasn't doing anything at the time.
I think it was overall the right move. I think stage list like discussion is pretty tired at this point. Because I think if you look at the state of our stage list right now, it's like we've come so far full circle that like 2 stages have been changed in like 4 years.
Yep.
But I think it's fine. Oh my god, Sky Sanctuary Zone 3 stock. Sheesh.
Yeah,
that was
a good stage.
I don't like...
Yeah, of course you're still interested in...
Of course Trevor still is down to stage list discussion.
Are there any Toon Links?
Yeah.
There's Shrug.
Shrug is... And Shrug has been active enough this year that I'd say that he is an active Toon Link.
I think that's it.
Yes.
DVD doesn't play the character.
DVD fell off the... DVD got ranked the #1 player in the world and then literally did not enter another tournament for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
And didn't talk to didn't make any public statement about anything. He disappeared without a trace. He became the Lox Lord in Rivals 2. Lunchables, when he was playing like 2 years ago, he went Toon Link as a counter pick still, but yeah, modern day, it is Shrug. He is the guy to watch. There's a lot of VODs of him on Plus Side VODs and ILPM YouTube channel. He's the best Toon Link in the world.
At this point, yeah. I mean, I can't think of anyone else. I mean, there might be some other local people that I just haven't seen.
Zushi's secondary Toon Link.
Oh, that's true.
But
Zushi definitely swapped to Toon Link at some point.
At Uprooted.
Yeah.
So technically Toon Link has been at top 8 of a major. It did not take any games. But actually it might have taken one. But yeah, Zushi and Shrug. I don't know if there's really much VODs of Zushi's Tink.
No, not really. Is Toon Link at Smash Camp? I believe it.
Yes, Zushi plays both. Zushi is the best Link right now for sure. But he's got a secondary Toon Link he plays for some campy matchups. I wonder who that Toon Link was. I always really like to keep like in tune with who is active these days.
It's hard. Because
I love answering the question of like who's the best with their character right now. Because I love giving new players credit.
It's hard to keep track of that when some regions don't have locals and people just kind of appear for whatever their regionals are.
Yeah, the net play is an issue. Trevor, I'm relying on you, man. We got the Brian hand to head. I think this game's over.
Yeah, I don't know how. Like if this game ever gets rolled back, I'm interested to see what happens to local attendance.
We'll see.
I've talked to like the Smash Ultimate TOs here.
Yeah.
And they're like, what if Smash 6 has rollback Switch 2? First of all, it's Nintendo. They're too dumb to do that.
But yeah, it wouldn't, but if it did.
If it does, I don't know. It's hard to say what that does to locals.
I don't know. I think the regions that already struggle with locals are going to be super dead. I think there's a lot of that, like, I don't know what you'd call it, like immeasurable thing about a community, that in-person value. If people are like built up around each other.
Yeah, of course.
So I think the regions that are already stronger are going to be okay. But I do fear for the ones that are already kind of struggling. I don't know. I'm less worried than some others are. I also don't even think it's going to happen. But
that's fair.
It's one of those things where it's like I've been right in doubting it, and if it happens, I will be pleasantly surprised. But you can't wait on it to save your shit, you know? Oh, yeah, dodging into it. We've all been there. Ganon stomps in real life.
Okay.
Yeah, locals for Melee, if you think about Melee is the biggest example. What locals in Melee survive? And I think it's one,
yeah, I got it.
Just ones with centralized, really good communities around that tournament. And yeah, TPS's Melee was competing so hard with City. And I don't know, PM we're doing good. Like, it's so separate how we do with RPM, but both are pretty strong in their own right. I think we're okay if it happens. I just think I care less about rollback netcode and I care way more about interconnected matchmaking. Because Discord sucks so bad, dude. It's the worst fucking shit in the world.
Yeah.
If my genius idea was a Discord bot that anytime you at netplay, it creates an Anthers ladder ping. But it's tough. I hate Discord. I prefer conversation to be public. I think it's good for information. I think it's good for communities. It's good for accessibility. It's good for preservation. We're gonna bring it back. We're gonna bring the netplay weeklies back after Super TPS. As a recently freelanced person, I have some free time. I can probably afford to do both East and West.
Just don't burn yourself out on it, because there was a time when I ran 3 weeklies a week.
Well, yeah, no, I'm not doing that.
And if you're doing that plus running to RPM,
I do not run RPM. I stopped doing that like about 3 months ago.
How do you mean conversations being public? I think it's more of like. So I know this happens anyway, but I think something that we see happening a lot now is these like small top player discords.
Yes.
Where all of the like netplay stuff happens,
well,
rather than just like Anther's Ladder being the hub of everything.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I think it happens.
There's no real way to avoid this. It happens in FGC stuff too.
No, it's not a like PM is behind the times. It is a how do we get PM ahead of the curve. So it's not something that's like we are shooting ourselves in the foot for not having. But I think we could do something really cool if we did have it. Conversations being public, I also mean like there's a barrier to entry to take part in a community with Discord. You have to find. You know how many people just don't know how to find regional Discords?
That is a real problem.
Yeah.
That's a huge downgrade versus Facebook, where you could literally just type into Facebook, Chicago Melee.
Exactly.
And there it is.
You could type into Google Chicago Melee.
Yeah. You can't do that for, like, the only way to find, like, the CLM Discord server, I think, is to find the CLM website or
the Twitter account, I think.
Or the Twitter account. Or go to, like, I think it might be linked on the mid lane page.
Yeah, that's like the best, and that's like the best case scenario because no other region has a website.
Yeah.
You know, and that's got SEO. You know, people can actually maybe Google Chicago Melee and have it show up on Google, but every other scene, I don't know. Yeah, it's tough. You got to know a guy, basically.
Is the ILPM Discord actually the best place to find netplay? I have the netplay channel muted. I don't know what's going on.
It's one of the better ones, but it still sucks. It sucks for beginners because, I mean, one of the biggest things for PM right now is it does suck for beginners.
Is it just because we're like centrally located? So
I don't know.
It makes it easier.
I think it might just be because we just happen to withstand being the most active.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just something I theorized, Jay. I don't know. I have no technical knowledge. It was just like a theoretical, like, what would be the best thing for netplay? And I think it would be if you could have a bot that could link your Discord and Anthers so that when you at netplay, it would make an Anthers ladder ping so that every single Discord that has it would be under the same pings. So if somebody in the Texas Cord adds netplay, they can see the ILPM netplay pings because it's just a Anthers ladder thing. That was my idea. It is so daunting, yeah. Beginner, and there's so many beginners out there, but they're so far spread apart. And oftentimes in person or in their region, the only people that are like actively available to play are people that have been playing for literally 10 years. It was an insane culture shock when I showed up to tournaments for the first time and realized that the people that have been playing the game since 2014. There was like very few people like me who yeah, I mean, it's the same idea. I think I just thought Anthers because the infrastructure was already there.
Doesn't Discord have a thing where you can like make a channel appear in multiple Discords at once?
Yeah.
I thought this was a thing.
Yeah, it's a thing, but I don't know.
Is there a way where like all of the big Discords can just agree that we're just going to like put one of those in our Discord and just have them all linked together?
I think it's unfortunately, oh my god, Henry, get there. An announcements only thing. So I think not everybody would have access to type in it. That's the issue. I also think that that's a pretty dangerous idea because if any server has the ability to have a channel where people can type in, like band players would just
I mean,
or like nerds and lame people.
I mean, yeah, I don't know how it works within Discord. I have no idea how any of that works.
Yeah, I think beginner PM, like the beginner PM Discord is an amazing resource because there are actual beginners there. But I think it's also another barrier to entry of knowing about it, and it's pretty small. Yeah, exactly. That's such a good. It seems so hard, Che, but yeah, it's a great idea. I think. Unfortunately, it's so easy to be an ideas guy. You know, I could either learn it all myself or wait for a savior, and unfortunately, I kind of have carved my thing that I'm gonna do for PM already.
Okay. You play Popcorn, who's in the plaid right there, playing Noon.
Yeah. I've had this idea for so long. When I met Anther for the first time at Game 5 last year, I thought about bringing it up to him, but I thought that was maybe one of the corniest shit I could do.
It might be. You might have been right about that.
Yeah. Like, hey, I have an idea for you to work.
Yeah. Give me the API to your website that you made a decade ago.
Yeah. Supposedly, Che, right? Supposedly, they're working hard on it. All right, Brian is trying to not die here to Sophie SoulOfficer. Oh, big fair. Dude, I love Brian's emotion. If anybody watches the webcam and see how emotive Brian is and doesn't think that's fucking awesome, you're a dweeb. Yeah, but that's bad, Che. I want Anther to like me, and I think he does. He was a little sweetheart at Game 5. He was chatting up me and Zoe. He was being all nice and shit. A very lovely lad. I don't know. Brian plot armor, a little bit. Dude, this stage, I know people don't love the aesthetics of the stage too much these days, but they snapped with this one. You noticed as a stream watcher, AJ, that everybody goes to this stage?
Yeah, they do.
This is probably the most popular, like, P+ era stages ever.
It is just Air Armada.
Kinda.
What's up? Well, what's up, chat? I'd like to report that before I sat down, I told not Chris that they announced Rick and Morty Season 8, and his eyes lit up like I just told him it was Christmas tomorrow.
Dude, I love not Chris. Oh, dude, Brian just SD'd to 0. Plot armor, Brian. Plot armor. Get there.
I need Brian to win because I want to watch Ganon Ike.
The conversation that you've joined in on is our plan to fix PM net play. Okay. What's your plan to fix PM net play?
It's like a fucking political panel.
Yeah. Voters have been asking what your plan is on the energy crisis of Discord servers.
I don't know. Low-key, I kind of hate Discord servers. And I know you really hate Discord servers.
My broski. I had to explain to chat why I hated Discord servers.
Why do we bring this guy on for the political debate when he doesn't have a different opinion?
No. Do you remember? This is such a deep cut, but anybody that watched the 2020 presidential election, damn, Brian is not happy. People, do you remember the billionaire that bought his way in with the plaid ties? Not Bloomberg, not Bloomberg, the other billionaire.
Fuck.
But all he did was every question, he would always go after Bernie Sanders, and every question he would go, I agree with Bernie. I'm looking up what his name is. Dude, it was fucking awesome. 2020 Dem candidates. Brian's gonna lose, bro. No!
Oh, no Ganon Ike.
All right, major candidates. His name was Tom Steyer.
Also, by the way,
Yes, sir.
insane that you just said, for anyone that watched the 2020 election,